Okay, now this one's a little bit different, guys, to what I normally do. This is a video I've been meaning to make for quite some time. EVs. Now, it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like, can you remember Christmas morning you got up and you got yourself this remote control car? It's like, woo, yeah, great. And then you charge it the first time, you use it for 10 minutes, and then you got to charge it again, and it takes 4 hours, 6 hours. So you charge it again, and then you get up the next day and you use it again for 10 minutes. And you might use it twice that next day. And then you think, oh, I couldn't be bothered charging it. And then, yeah, before you know it, it's in the cupboard and it's gone. Within 3 weeks, 4 weeks maximum, you don't touch that thing ever again. You might go back to it in 6 months because it's a toy. It's a toy that you use occasionally. And as far as I'm concerned, that's what an EV is. The people that are EV evangelists, as they call them, love the things, right? And that's great, because I love turbochargers, WRXs, not so much Porsches, but we all have our passions and we all enjoy things, and we all need to be able to be allowed to enjoy them things. The government mandates on these cars is absolutely insane. Like, they will not stand up by themselves. And when I say that is, when we had telephones, from a landline we went to mobile phones. Remember those Nokia block phones and the NEC Sports? It was a better product and you could use it and it was great. And then from there, they got knocked out. The CDMA network got knocked out and we went to the digital network, which was a better network, better phones, data, iPhones. They just progressed. The government didn't need to subsidise us and push us into those products because they were a better product. EVs. And don't think that I'm hating on EVs altogether. When they first come out, I was thinking to myself, because classic car restoration stuff is my passion. It's where I'm at. Like, I pulled apart 2 electric forklifts. There's a couple of motors there. I've got all in the back of a van. I've got all the controllers and all that sort of stuff, because I honestly believed at the start of this it was the future. So I had to start to learn and evolve. So my theory was, get these electric forklifts, pull them apart. I can lay it all out, work out how the controller works, all the other modules, get the motors to work, you know, work out the gearbox stuff. And I was looking forward to it, because for me as a mechanic, it's just another mechanical challenge. It's another puzzle. But as time went by and you start to notice the fires that conspiracy theory here, but it's not a conspiracy theory because it's the truth, that they try and hide. That Luton car park fire at the airport that brought the whole car park down. How long is it until they're charging a car under a high-rise in surface on the Goldie? And it brings the high-rise down. But that's not even the catastrophic thing that's coming from EVs. It's not even close. It's not the fact that the batteries only, well, it is the fact that the batteries only last 8 to 10 years. That's where we're heading. But anyway, in our modified car community, okay, if you have a four-wheel drive and you've got tyres that are slightly too tall, or your body lift is 10 mil too high, or you get raped, like you are the worst criminal that ever lived in the world. But you can have an EV that has self-driving issues, that crashes into things. You crash your car in an EV, the doors won't open, it's on fire, you can't get out, you die. Like, that happened last week in China. Like, there's so many safety issues with these EVs, but me in my modified car that's lowered on big wheels, that I've upgraded suspension, brakes, everything else to make this thing safer, drive worse most of the time. Let's be serious, right? It's a serious video. But you're dragged over the coals. There is massive blitzes that just pulls everyone over. But an EV, with the shortcomings that they have, blind eye. But anyway, to the point of this video. Righto. It's not contested that these lithium batteries, okay, last 8 to 10 years. Okay, so as the battery gets older, okay, think about your mobile phone again, right? So you've got a mobile phone. You've had that mobile phone for 2 years, maybe 3. The lithium battery in it, as far as, well, it's a lithium battery, and lithium batteries are in cars, so I'm assuming they're made from lithium and they're the same sort of thing. The battery degrades over time. So after the 2-year period, you charge your phone, so you put 100% charge in it, right? And you only get 6 hours instead of the 17 hours you used to get when it was new. Same amount of energy going in, heaps less time used, okay? So you're wasting, because that battery's degraded, you are wasting 50% of the charge of the electricity that you put into that battery. The same thing happens with cars, right? So you charge your car. By the time the car gets to 6 years old, it's worth nothing for one, right? But 7 years old, 8 years old, your range, argument's sake, was 400 Ks, right? By the time it's at 7, you're at probably 150 Ks, right? They're just numbers I'm pulling out of my head, but realistically, that's the truth. So that leads me to the point of this video and how EVs are going to destroy our society, the way we live, and everything you have, do, the whole lot. Righto. So, if an EV battery fails, starts to fail, has to be replaced 8, 10 years, max of 12, right? So that means, and the price of that isn't worth doing, so those cars all get scrapped. I'm not even going to touch on the fact that that Jag there is a very serviceable car, right? And that thing is over 50 years old, right? You can't tell me that that thing, even with the Chevy in it, with a big cam, aluminium heads, all the rest of the crap that's in this thing now, is lived on, and this will live on for probably another 20 or 30 years if someone else owns it, not me, and looks after it properly. But it baffles me, this stuff, honestly. Righto, so I'll get to the point. We're going to go over now to, in Kingatow, I live in Western Queensland, about 2.5 hours west of Brisbane, right? So we're just going to go to the local shopping centre. There's two, IGA and Woolworths. We're going to go for a walk through their car park, and I'm going to show you how many cars are left after 10 years. So it's about 70% of the cars on the road now will not exist, okay? Because fleet buyers buy a lot of new cars, a lot of them get written off, and there's only a certain percentage that make it through to the second-hand car market. But with EVs, I think the percentage would be 5%, 10% that may get their battery replaced, but then it's only another 8 to 10 years. So it's still not even anywhere near the league of the Jag. It's nowhere near the league of the WRX. Like, that's a 2000 model, so that's 24 years old. 24 years old. Same as this thing, VNs. They're 19, what are they? They're 27 years old now, vans. Like, it's absolutely nuts. So we're gonna go for a walk through a car park, and I'm gonna show you, and then I'll show you how many cars don't exist, and then you need to think to yourself, how am I going to get to work? Because most of us drive those 70% of cars that are over 10 to 15 years old. Most of us drive those. Most of us drive a car in the price bracket between $5,000 and $10,000. And we are the people that run this country. It's not the politicians and people, the CEOs at Woolworths and that. It's you and me, the people that work at Woolworths at the checkout, the people that drive a forklift, the people that drive a truck. We run this country, but we're not going to be able to get to work because can you afford 40 to 60,000? I could afford it, but do I want to? No, I have no need to. I would prefer an older car, but that's me. But most people, a car that say, so we're in 2024, right? So let's 14 years. Let's give EVs an extra 4 years, right? So anything under 2010, which is still quite a late model car, will be gone. Nothing. There's no more. Like, so it doesn't work. How do we get to work? Let's go for a look. I'll show you what I mean. Righto, before I head across there, I do have to say one more thing. Right, so if you think you're the smartest person in the room and you need to get in the comments and start carrying on, please check your information before you do, because you're going to get checked on this one, right? And I will be doing a follow-up video calling out you idiots, right? This is something that I live and breathe. It's my whole world, okay? The information that I've said is true, and I'll bring receipts. So before you get all happening, dig a bit deeper and have a look at yourself, right? So anyway, right, let's go over and have a look. Right, we'll pick up where we left off. Obviously, it's the next day. I ran out of time yesterday. I work, but we'll do this properly. We're heading over there now, but if we're going to go talk about EVs and how bad they are, I think the only way you can really do it is in a V8 holding ute. Like, come on, they can't touch it, can they? So let's get the SS50 going and head over and see what we can find. And I don't want to hear in the comments that, oh, the cars that you wanted to show weren't in the car. I haven't been over to the car park today, like, obviously. So, yeah. Yeah, so we'll head over now and have a look. On the way, I might show you something about LPG and explain something about that. But first, I've got to start my diesel forklift because a electric one is never going to do what I need to move this beautiful E30 that I just got. I'm using the word beautiful very loosely. Righto, let's move this, get that out, head across, and let's show you what we're talking about. One thing I will say about EVs, like walking back towards my ute, which you can hear rumbling away there. Right, so this is an SS50, right? So it's a limited edition Holden V8 ute with an LS in it. Now, EVs go on about how fast they are. Oh, they've got this acceleration. I don't care. Couldn't care less. And most guys like me don't care. I will be completely honest, this is the slowest LS in Australia, and I would almost put money on that. I was at a mate's place the other day and I pulled in and I've gone, geez, this thing's slow. He goes, there's no way it can be slow. Like, it looks fast sitting still. He drove it and he got out and he goes, dude, what's wrong with that thing? I said, I don't know. I've done exhaust on it. I've ran through it. It's got to be in the ECU, in the tuning it somewhere that it's so slow. Like, but I don't care. I love it. Like, it's beautiful. It's not too bad on, it's terrible on fuel. But I don't care how fast your EV is. Put it this way. Let's say you're at the drags, right? So you go to the drags and then the announcer goes, right, the next 10 races are EV ones, this one and that one. I guarantee you that 3/4 of those stands will empty out and use that as an interval to go and get a feed, have a piss, get a drink. And then when that's finished, they'll come back and they'll actually watch the cars, not the toys, right? And I understand that everyone likes different things, and you can have an EV. Just don't try and shove it down my throat. But anyway, getting angry now, so I should get in my car and calm down. Righto, so petrol, the cheapest one there, you're not going to use E10, but 91, okay. Then you've got LPG here, okay, is at $1.49, okay. Now, LPG, liquid petroleum gas, which to me means it's a byproduct of making petrol, or, you know, so it's, which is what it is. It's a refined gas to run in cars, okay? You have a better, we'll concentrate here for a sec. So you've got, it's $1.50, but you use twice as much LPG as what you do fuel. So realistically, that comes out to probably just under $3 a litre, or $2.80 it'd be in petrol terms, because you use more of it, right? But you have another solution. So out west in Chinchilla, Roma, well, anywhere really that has coal under the ground, okay? Now, before the smartest people in the room start carrying on, have a look at what your qualifications are and then have a look at mine. I've spent a lot of time in the drilling industry. I've spent a lot of time in the coal seam gas industry, in doing in-seam gas, doing production wells and all that sort of stuff. Now, one company that I worked for, Arrow Energy, back in the day, they were based in Dalby. We were drilling for them and producing the gas that gets sent to Gladstone and then shipped overseas. They had 2 Hilux utes back then that was set up to run on the coal seam gas, right? Directly out of the well into the car. Now, it runs higher pressures than what LPG does, so the cars that they had converted needed thicker wall tanks and a lot of, it's more expensive to convert the car, but I'm pretty sure back then, we're going back quite a while, but it was only 30 cents to fill their tank, right? To run these Hilux utes on this coal seam gas, right? And before anyone carries on, oh, drilling and all this, it's not fracking for one, which isn't bad anyway. Like, they go on about out at Chinchilla how the gas is coming up out of the rivers and you can light it on fire. Yes, been happening forever because it is so close to the ground and it seeps up through the sand and it's just there. It has nothing to do with the drilling, because the drilling industry's not allowed anywhere near those water courses to drill holes. It is so heavily regulated. If you spill fresh water, say I pull fresh water out of a dam and I go to put it into a mixing tank or something and I spill fresh water on the ground, you're almost sacked. Like, it is that serious, the ecological stuff that they carry on with out there. Yeah, it is insane. So the drilling industry is not bad at all, but why aren't we converting our cars? Because here's the thing, The cars use, it's 8% of our emissions in Australia comes from the tailpipe of a car, right? So, but when you have, when you do an open cut mine, right? So you're mining coal out of the ground, which is, the water runs through the coal seams, okay? And contained in that water is this gas, right? So when they actually extract that, without extracting the gas first, that all escapes into the atmosphere. And I saw a report on it, and it was 20 to 30% of the greenhouse gases, or whatever they want to call them, escape from those coal seams when they do, because you can have explosions from digging coal seams up because the gas is contained in there. Whereas by extracting that gas and running these wells and being able to use this and ship that gas, it's just insane. Like, honestly, and they're talking about electric cars where getting cobalt and lithium and stuff out of the ground is so invasive. And it is just disgusting. The massive pollution pools that they need to make to get this rare earth mineral out is insane. When they've got, how much, they reckon they've got thousands of years of coal left. So inside of all these coal seams is the gas that we can be running these vehicles on. Anyway, let's head down the road. I'll stop ranting at you in a minute. Thank you for listening. Righto. Local IGA car park. I parked right over in the back corner. That's the shops over there, so we can walk through, right? I'm not going to do the whole car park because you'll get the gist pretty quick. Okay, so EVs are gone within 10 years. So anything that's over, because they're just not going to be on the market, so which knocks out any second-hand car market. And that's what this video is about, to show you, the normal people that run this country, the price for any cars that are left are going to be way worse than COVID tax if you can get one, and then you're going to be stuck trying to get finance to buy a $50,000 or $60,000 EV. So anything over, anything under 2015 is gone. Righto. This Great Wall, 2000 max. This thing here, 2000 as well. This is gone. This is gone 10 years ago. These two cars. Captiva. This would be about a 2008, which means it's gone. VZ is it, or VY? But anyway, around 2000 model. That's been gone for 10 years. Don't even know what that is, but that must be pretty late model. So I'm reckoning that'll still be here. That'd be like 2018, maybe 2020. 99, 2000, gone. 2011, so gone, because 2015 is our cutoff, basically. This is a late model one, so this is like a 22 or something, so this is still here. Navara, it's a later model one, so that's probably still here. That'd be right on the cusp. That'd be 16, 17. This is pretty new, so it'll still be here. The Veloster will be gone. Hilux, it's a 3-litre one, so that's gone. Ooh, you might just sneak in with this one, that X-Trail. It's late enough model. The Cruiser will live forever, no matter what year age it is. The Falcon, it'll definitely be gone. It'll probably be gone next week. Can you see the gist I'm getting? This thing's gone. Like, so in this car park, you've got, well, just in this small section of the car park, the rest is just the same. I haven't cherry picked anything, as you can see. They're all the same. There's probably 4 cars left out of that section, out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 18, 20, 24. Out of 50 cars, you got 5. So you got 5% of the cars left to progress into the second-hand car market. And just for the crying whingers, let's head down to Woolworths car park and have a look. Maybe the people that shop at IGA drive old cars. But anyway, I know I do. My ute, gone. It'll never be gone. I'm buried in it. Righto, let's play the game again. You see, Woolworths, Big W, same sort of car park. So we'll get down the end here and we'll have a look. So obviously the hybrid is going to stay. Maxima's too old. Navara be too old. Land Cruiser will live forever. Too old. The BMW would be 16, I think. So that'll just be. But if it was an EV, it's on its last year and it's useless. Commodore's definitely gone. Captiva should never have been made. Yeah, that'd be a later model one. So the Toyota's probably still there. The work van's gone. Gone, gone, gone. Might sneak in. But as you can see, the normal people in this world aren't driving cars that are 10 years newer, right? Yes, it might be different if I go into inner city Brisbane and Sydney and stuff like that, but it's places like out at Kingatow where we grow your food. It's where so much talent comes from to go to university down in those big cities. It doesn't work. There's no future in EVs. It's going to destroy economies because no one's going to be able to get to work. No one. Or you're going to ride a push bike. Realistically, we're not the Netherlands. Yeah. But anyway, to wrap that up then, so I'm back at my beautiful girl. Look at the dish on that. It's insane. There is options of other fuel sources. I was hoping that hydrogen would become but it's not. It's just not there. Japan has made a lot of leaps and bounds with their nuclear stuff, and the byproduct is a hydrogen, but I just don't think it's going to happen. We can't store it. We can't. It's just not practical. The only thing we can do is make more efficient internal combustion engines, which they're doing. I think Maserati and Ferrari have just released another V12, you know. But yeah, anyway, there's a couple of YouTube channels, Jeff Buys Cars and M Guy on YouTube. Check those two channels out. You'll see they really report on this stuff, and they do a good job. But yeah, just my 2 cents worth. I meant to make this video about 2 years ago. The EV thing is starting to fail. Like, it is going to fall over. I reckon within the next couple of years it'll be finished. You'll have your hangers on that want EVs and enjoy them, the tech guys and all that sort of stuff, which is fine. That's great. I like V8s, they like EVs. Just don't shove it down our throats. But unless we push back and don't encourage people to buy them and stop buying them, we've got no future. The world we live in finishes. No one can get to work. No one can get to those factory jobs. No one can get to Woolworths to buy your food. There's going to be no staff there because you won't own a car. End of story. Right, I couldn't just leave it. I was heading out of Kingatow. Have a look at this disgrace. Like, this is the solar farm just outside of Kingatow. Now, this stretches from over there, right, all through prime agricultural land, right along here. That's all solar panels, and then it stretches up and over that hill, right, over that hill, way over, like another K that way. I'm going to go on record to say I do not believe in climate change. I reckon it is the biggest load of crap that has ever been thought up, right? And it's never... Solar panels are the same as these batteries. They don't last forever. Like, there was a big storm that went through Dallas recently where hailstones destroyed a solar farm like this, and now the stuff that's come out of the solar panels has gone into the groundwater and polluted the groundwater. It's the most insane thing I've ever come across. Like, and do you know the stupidest thing about this solar farm, right? Just down the road here, because I'm just outside of Kingatow, once you turn that, the town is right there, and Swiggers is the big processing plant that employs a lot of the town, right? If you turn left and go up there a couple of 100 metres, a bloke I know built a house. This is in town, right? The block had been vacant for quite a lot of years before he bought it. They built a beautiful house there, really nice. Moved in this old Queenslander. It is absolutely beautiful, right? Tony will probably comment under here. He'll be able to verify the story and actually add to it. But I can remember him saying to me that they wouldn't connect his power to the town power grid. He's in town, mind you, in the good area of town, not even in the old area of town, because the transformers or whatever it was couldn't handle another house on that grid. So how do you think everyone's going to have an EV and plug them in to charge them at night if they couldn't add an additional house to the grid in town, in a town? Like, and you've got all this crap just around the corner. Like, climate change is not real. End of story. And I'll go down in history to say that, and I'm on the right side of history because the rest of it is crap. Right, I've finished yelling now. Sil, say hello to your sister.